Hi, Jamie McIntyre here, 21st Century TV. I'm excited about tonight's episode. We're joined by a remarkable success story. This particular woman I met almost 6 years ago, actually at a live 21st Century seminar. I'm joined tonight by Harty. Welcome to 21st Century TV. It's great to have you here. Now, as I share the story, I guess, about you, you've had a remarkable success. I remember meeting you very briefly, I believe, at a 4-day event many years ago. And then I remember getting a phone call a little bit over 6 months ago from you saying, Jamie, I'm so excited. I always had a dream to have $1 million in cash sitting in my bank account. I just want to let you know that I set that as a goal many years ago because of attending a seminar, and now that's become a reality. So I remember that call. So that's pretty amazing to be able to start out and achieve tremendous success, including becoming a millionaire.
Yeah, that was a big, that was massive for me, and like that happened in 5 years. Wow.
So tell us about what were you doing before you attended the 20th Century event with your life, and what was the catalyst, what were you looking for, and how did you transform your life to achieve such financial success, considering you have a family to look after, had a career, and you're busy like many people, but you didn't use that as an excuse. You went out there and achieved amazing success.
Well, you know, I was in the army at the time, and it was about the 15, 16 year mark, and I sort of knew that I would get out of the military in my 20-year mark. That was sort of like when most people do. But I actually was a little bit disappointed because I didn't have the financial success that I should have at the age of mid-30s. You know, even though I had this job that was, you know, it was a very noble profession, and you know the Australian public loved you for doing that, but it actually didn't pay the bills. You know, it had great benefits and all of those things. So yeah, I got online, got onto Google, Googled everything, found anything from Tupperware to Melaleuca and stuff like that, and then you came across. I saw this dude from the farm, Jamie McIntyre, never heard of him, downloaded your book, and pretty much as soon as I played your DVD, it actually opened my mind to what I actually wasn't doing, you know, in the past. So
because I guess it's like a lot of people at school or university are not taught financial education or financial strategies or even goal setting or personal development, and I guess in the Defence Force probably you weren't taught that as either.
No, exactly. But like, you know, the skills I learnt in the military have become, you know, the catalyst for a lot of things, like qualities such as, you know, having ambition, drive, motivation, teamwork, camaraderie, that sort of stuff, you know, professionalism, discipline in particular, structure, routine, all of that stuff. And I just applied those skills to your strategies.
Wow.
So, and, you know, because military is tactical and strategic, you know, you had the strategy to create financial abundance. And all I had to do is, I was driven. I knew how to get from one place to another, but I didn't necessarily have the map, and you gave me that.
Yes, I guess with the strategy and the psychology, I guess a big part of defence training would be working on your psychology as well to face things such as fear. And also, you're talking about strategic thinking. I often say that, you know, the things that will change a person's life, anything that we share is really common sense, but it's also strategic, intelligent thinking. And that's why it works. Obviously, you had some of those skill sets, and obviously you took significant action.
It was through not having enough money and not spending enough time with my kids and my husband. You know, that was the pain. And when you're in pain, man, I tell you what, you actually do
strong
things.
Driving force.
That is a strong driving force.
I relate to that totally. That's certainly what drove me. It's more of an act of desperation than inspiration.
Yeah, exactly. So I went, okay, look, I'm going to set a short-term goal. In 3 or 4 years' time, I'm going to put in my discharge from the military and get out. So then, what do I need to do in order to achieve that quickly? Right, so okay, I need to focus on what you've taught me. You know, learn from people that have already achieved that level of success. So it was from Nick Halleck, Daniel Kircher was instrumental, Dave Lochnan, Kel Butcher, all of those traders, because I wanted to make a lot of money.
So these teachers you met through 21st Century that were achieved a result in their particular expertise.
Yeah, and people go, oh, why did you go from one trading program to another? And it wasn't that. It was, you know, when a student's learning something, you keep building. You
keep adding on the extra distinctions.
And your knowledge just expands, and you just, you know, you can just make a better decision on what market I want to trade.
So I guess the more you learn, the more you earn, effectively.
Yeah, and that is so true. And I'm pretty greedy. I love that, you know.
You love learning, yes.
Well, I love learning strategies, and I love pushing myself, challenging myself to achieve it. You know, so
you become fairly diversified, learn a lot of the stock market type strategies, but I believe you also got into real estate as well, which is something we teach to combine the strategy.
I must admit, that's one where I made my $1 million from, you know. Actually, you taught me in one of your books that said, you showed me how to negotiate, the power of negotiation. In the military, we have people that actually do that for us. The soldiers don't actually, they just take orders and do what they're told, right? Yeah. So I didn't really know how to do that. So I negotiated with the bank to lend me some money. I found an amazing house. My husband was at war at the time in the Middle East. And I had learned also to make a quick decision and to take action. And opportunities, they just go past. And sometimes they go past and you go, oh shit, it's too late. Yeah, I can't get that now. So because it did go past, and you helped me negotiate with the bank to get this house. It was on the market for $720,000. We negotiated it down to $600,000. Wow. And it was a big 5-bedroom.
And this is in Perth?
In Perth,
yes.
In Mount Claremont. It was just amazing. Anyway, long story short, I got it, right, with a bit of pure diligence and hard work and just passion.
Making it happen, yeah.
Yeah, and because my husband was at war, that was also a driving incentive. What happens if he didn't actually come back? Yeah. I would still need a place for my family to live. Yeah. And that was a real scenario in my life. So anyway, long story short, he came back 6 months later, right? Walks into this house and he goes...
So I guess you did...
Oh my God, Lou, what have you done? And like even...
So I guess he wasn't there to be able to say, look, do you like this house or not? You know?
No, he wasn't. And you know, that's the important thing of having a partner that will trust your decisions. Yeah. And also allow you the freedom to go off and expand it. And I saw a really good opportunity, and it's turned into that because, you know, a few years later, it was valued at, you know, I sold it for like 1.7 million.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I made a net...
$1 million just from that one transaction.
You know, and then that money then has gone into then massively propel the things I'm doing. And I've invested in US real estate just recently. So
there'll be a lot of viewers out there be very excited to say, well, they'd also think you're very brave to go and buy a house and negotiate without letting your husband know. And then it turns out you make over $1 million from it. So I'm sure he's very happy about that decision.
Well, you know, you've got to see, and a woman has, you know, we think differently to you guys. I don't know if you get that yet. Have you worked that out yet?
I have noticed that in my my young years, yes.
But yeah, if you've got a supportive partner, they're obviously going to
obviously makes it, because a lot of people say that, like if you do have a supportive partner or a supportive family or friends that are around that are doing the same thing, it certainly does make it easier. Yeah. But sometimes some people just have to get out there and make it happen, and that inspires other people. And
we did struggle, you know, for a few years paying off the mortgages and stuff, but because we both could see the big picture here.
So you'll focus on the reward, not just
the end result, and you know that's always been the case with us.
So I've also heard that obviously you got to also, one of the other strategies we teach at 20th Century is how to build online businesses, internet and business. So I believe you're also successful in that as well.
Well, like one of the lessons you taught me years ago was, you know, start one or two strategies that you're comfortable with, get them rolling and get them getting a bit of income, and that will build, and then move on to the next one, which so it's trading, real estate, and then and it was a Kiyosaki model too, right? I had trading going, cash flow, I had capital growth, properties. I bought some investment properties through the Property Direct program in Melbourne, which was brilliant, and also then got into online marketing, which was promoting 21st century through an internet business, and I didn't know anything about internet.
And that taught you all about internet and how to make money online.
And how to make money
Because a lot of people, a lot of you are seeing out there, especially a lot of mums as well, that maybe need to stay at home all the time looking after their kids, but they can have another form of income where perhaps the internet, for some people, can be a solution to that.
And I think a lot of people go towards an internet marketing business because of there's less risk. Like when you look at trading, people are more fearful of the fear of losing money.
Yes.
Whereas an internet business, you know, that actually removes that emotion. And like people like to sit in their comfort zone, and internet marketing but allows you to be really creative. And you know, if you're driven, you'll get exactly what you want. And there's a lot of money to be made online. It's unbelievable.
So you're someone that's really done well in a broad range of strategies. What would be, I guess, a one key thing you'd say to viewers out there, you know, to what's made you successful? What would you say? What's at least one key distinction that they could take on board, they could have them achieve some of the success that you've achieved?
Oh, well, I think just making a decision quickly. Yeah. Right? Making that decision, if you want to buy that house, if you want to do that trading strategy, if you want to do something, if you make that decision quickly and take action straight away, as in, you know,
as opposed to procrastinating.
Yeah, go, I'll put it off.
Overanalyzing things like a lot of people do.
Yeah, if I was slow in my decision-making process when I saw that house years ago, I would have missed that opportunity. Yeah. Like the US property, like I just bought a US property for like $45,000 with a 21% net return.
That's right. So that's another strategy you've been taught through 21st century.
Because it's about slowly rolling it out and building it, and having, you know, Warren Black's accounting team structure it all properly. So making a quick decision and implementing it straight away, not waiting.
Yeah, which I guess a lot of people say, well, it's all right for you, you got an Australian property at 620,000, I can't afford that. But now with strategies such as US property, where you can buy $30,000, $40,000 type properties, these strategies are certainly possible for almost anyone, because almost anyone has 20, 30,000 in their superannuation that they can do those strategies with.
Yeah, and like initially my starting base was $50 a week for the home study. I paid it off.
Wow. Yes.
And then I built it, and I got through there faster because of, you get there faster.
What would you say to people? What would you say to
education.
people? A lot of people go, well, I might save a few $1,000s on my education and skip that and try and maybe just read a couple of books or try and do it myself. And ultimately, what would you say to people like that? What does it ultimately cost them not to really get educated?
Yeah, well, it costs them probably 10 times more, because that's what all they'll do. They'll go to YouTube and they'll find a free program or download a free book. Or the thing is, education, the value of education, we understand that.
Yeah.
So
I guess because I know for myself, just one idea, if I've invested $5,000 into a program or an educational course and I just get one idea, I often can make that money, within a week or a month or even it takes a year, the return on investment. I guess it's, people value university when I spend $50,000, $100,000, so they get a high paying job over 50 years. I say that's a good return, but often they don't understand that financial education can achieve a result much faster.
Yeah, well, 5 years I made $1 million.
Yeah.
If I'd have done it just floating around looking online for free books and free advice and free
tips. And that was
tips.
a program you paid off at $50 a week.
Yeah, and I paid it off over 4 years.
Wow. So.
And when I made $1 million, Trish rang me up from accounts. She goes, "Do you want to pay your home study off?" And I went, "No, I'll just let it trickle." Because
yeah, so you're still paying it off at the time. So you got the education, you made the $1 million.
Yeah,
it's pretty powerful. So it's great to have you on the show tonight, Lou.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. I'm sure a lot of people will be inspired by what you've done. And for those viewers out there, if you want to find out more about some of the strategies that Lou's talked about tonight that's helped her go from leaving her Defence Force job, such as share renting and some of the other trading strategies, real estate as well in Australia, she did obviously quite well out of that, and now she's doing US property as well, and also she's been successful, as you heard, with online marketing. 21stcenturytv.com.au, you'll be able to find the details and learning more about these strategies. It's been great sharing with you tonight. We look forward to sharing with you in the next episode of 21st Century TV.